Police say a woman is still missing after being abducted from her job this morning. 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd works as a caretaker at a home.
That's where she was when we're told she opened the door to a man who beat her and dragged her into his car against her will.
She went to work. That was it. No argument, no confrontation, no warning that anything was about to go wrong. Andrea Lloyd showed up to her overnight shift, the same shift she had worked countless times before, caring for adults who depended on her. She was good at her job. She was the kind of person who showed up, no matter what. Just after midnight, there was a knock at the door. She opened it. She knew the person standing on the other side. That was the last time anyone outside of that facility would see Andrea Lloyd alive.
It's hard because, you know, she's the type of person, she always calls her dad because we got so much love in the family.
Comforted by all that love, Patriarch Arnold Lloyd, a modest family man, told us he only wants one thing this holiday season.
Everybody know me, I don't beg for nothing. When I'm begging for my daughter to come home, I don't beg for nothing. I don't beg for nothing. But I'm begging for my daughter to come home.
Within hours, her father, a man who said he had never begged for anything in his life, stood before cameras, begging for his daughter's return. He was a father of 12 children. Andrea was the youngest. And the family that had gathered in desperate hope for her return would spend the next 48 hours searching, praying, and ultimately confronting a truth that no family should ever have to face.
For her not to have contacted any of us, something is wrong. Andrea is not the type person that will leave with a stranger. And the information and the evidence that the detectives shared with us indicates that she was very familiar with the person that abducted her.
She was 27 years old, a mother of 2 boys, weeks pregnant with her 3rd child. And 2 days before she disappeared, she had shared something on her Facebook page that, in hindsight, told everyone exactly what she was living through. Nobody caught it in time. Andrea Allett Lloyd was born on December 13, 1993, right in Miami, Florida. She grew up in Miami-Dade County, Laura Sanders Elementary, Campbell Drive Middle School, Homestead Senior High School, and eventually earned her diploma at Mavericks High School. She was not someone who gave up easily. That much was clear from early on. She started her working life in retail, but that was never where she was meant to stay. Andrea found her calling in caregiving. Something about looking after people who needed consistent, genuine support just fit who she was as a person. She joined Sunrise Community, and within 3 years, she had worked her way up from caregiver to residential program director, overseeing the daily care of adults who depended on her completely. Think about that for a moment. 3 years, from entry level to director. That was not luck. That was someone who showed up every single day and gave everything she had. Outside of work, Andrea's world revolved around 2 little boys, a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. Her family described her life simply. She worked, she took care of her kids, that was it. And according to everyone who knew her, that was everything. She was deeply rooted in her family. Her parents, Arnold and Alfreda Lloyd, were central to her life. Her father described her as someone who called him every single day without fail. That was just who she was. Someone who kept people close, who didn't let the people she loved go without knowing she was thinking of them. Now, to understand what happened to Andrea Lloyd, you have to understand the relationship she was in, because this case does not begin on the night she disappeared. It begins years before that, long before the surveillance cameras, long before the search teams, long before the pink balloons. It begins with a young woman who gave 11 years of her life to one man. Xavier Johnson was 32 years old. By the time this story reaches its end, he had been in Andrea's life for 11 years. Not months, not a couple of years. 11 years. That is more than a third of her entire life. They had 2 children together. They built a shared life, vacations, family gatherings, ordinary couple moments, nail salon trips, outings, holiday celebrations with the family that welcomed Xavier in like one of their own.
Her nephew would later say that whenever they came around, they always seemed happy. Her family said they had never once seen them argue, not at a single gathering, not in any setting anyone could recall. By every visible measure, Xavier was not just her boyfriend, he was her partner in everything.
Who's the social butterfly? Who's the messy one? Who works out more? Who requires more attention?
Sight.
Oh!
Read it. I don't even know what the top say. Can you read it out loud, please?
No, I ain't gonna read it out loud. Oh, I spoiled it. Where the money at?
They already came prepacked. They didn't want to go, you know.
So you didn't do this?
No. I ordered it.
Okay. I open
Sight.
I want to open taste. Can I open taste?
Can you go?
Bad boy. Bad boy.
Can I see the box? Like,
I should have put on my clothes.
Maybe.
But somewhere between those photos and December 8th, 2021, something had shifted in that relationship. Something that Andrea had been carrying quietly, that her family had not seen, that the photos did not show. And 2 days before she disappeared, she finally put it into words. Not her own words, someone else's. Words she found online that described exactly what she had been living through.
She shared them on Facebook, and almost nobody noticed. We will get to that post. But first, you need to understand exactly what happened on the night everything changed. December 8th, 2021, just after midnight. Andrea Lloyd was exactly where she was supposed to be, at work. She was the overnight supervisor at a South Miami-Dade group home, the same kind of facility she had dedicated her entire career to, the same kind of environment where she had built her professional reputation from the ground up. She was doing her job. The facility was quiet. It was after midnight. The adults in her care were settled. Andrea was on shift, doing what she always did, showing up, being present, making sure everyone under her watch was safe. Then came a knock at the door. Court records indicate that the surveillance camera positioned at the facility captured what happened next. And what it captured was not a confrontation that escalated. It was not a disagreement that got out of hand. According to investigators, this was targeted. Andrea opened the door. She knew the person standing there. Xavier Johnson, the man she had spent 11 years with, the father of her children, the man her family had welcomed into every holiday dinner, every birthday gathering, every ordinary Tuesday that families share together. She let him in because of course she did. Why would she have any reason not to?
Miami-Dade police confirming something did in fact go drastically wrong overnight. They say surveillance video revealed a disturbing scene after a man showed up at Andrea's job just after midnight.
This male proceeded to batter her and eventually, during the altercation, pushed her inside of a vehicle and drove off in an unknown direction.
Police say she was dragged and forced into a white Honda Civic with Florida tag Y650DL. Andrea's family tells us they have a hunch who her attacker is, but were asked by police to keep it to themselves for now.
According to Miami-Dade police, what the surveillance footage showed was not what anyone would expect from someone who claimed to love another person. Investigators stated that Xavier Johnson attacked Andrea at her place of work. He forced her out of the building. He pushed her into her own vehicle, a white Honda Civic, Florida tag Y650DL, and drove away with her into the early morning darkness. Now here is what makes this even more chilling. When Andrea did not come home, when her phone went silent and no one could reach her, her family knew almost immediately that something was catastrophically wrong. This was not a woman who disappeared without explanation. This was not someone who went off the grid, who needed space, who sometimes went quiet. Her family described her routine in the simplest possible terms. She worked, she called her dad, she came home to her boys. Every day, without fail. So when the call stopped and the silence set in, the people who knew Andrea best did not wait to see if there was an explanation. They already knew something was wrong.
Andrea is not the type person that will leave with a stranger. And the information and the evidence that the detectives shared with us indicates that she was very familiar with the person that abducted her. For her not to have contacted any of us, something is wrong.
She opened the door for him, and they yanked out, throwed her down, grabbed her, threw her in her own car, and drove away.
Her father stood before cameras while she was still missing and said something that has stayed with everyone who heard it. For her not to have contacted any of us, something is wrong. A man who said he had never begged for anything in his life, begging for his daughter to come home.
It's hard because, you know, I mean, she's the type of person, she always calls her dad because we got so much love in the family.
Comforted by all that love, Patriarch Arnold Lloyd, a modest family man, told us he only wants one thing this holiday season.
Everybody know me, I don't beg for nothing. When I'm begging for my daughter to come home, I don't beg for nothing. I don't beg for nothing. But I'm begging for my daughter to come home.
12 children. Andrea was the youngest, and within hours of her disappearance, that family had mobilized completely. Not just waiting by phones, not just hoping, they were out looking for her themselves. Now stop here for a moment, because there is a question that needs to be asked. Xavier Johnson, the man surveillance footage placed at that scene, where was he while all of this was unfolding?
Police making the arrest after finding the suspect near where human remains were discovered.
CBS 4's Deborah Souverain, she's live at the jail in West Miami-Dade. That's where he's being held this morning. Deborah?
Keith, Maribel, Xavier Johnson is being held here, as you mentioned, at TGK. He's facing several charges. Detectives say he was the one that called them and reported Andrea Lloyd missing. And when police arrived to speak to him, they found blood on the porch. New this morning, our first look at the man accused of kidnapping and killing the mother of his children. According to Miami-Dade police, human remains were discovered in this heavily wooded area of Homestead after the victim's family followed Xavier Johnson's pickup truck.
According to investigators, Xavier Johnson was the one who called police and reported Andrea missing. The man caught on surveillance camera forcing Andrea into her own vehicle called authorities to report her missing. Think about what that decision tells you about how this situation was being managed from his side. He made that call. He sat across from investigators. And according to court records, when detectives arrived to speak with him, they found blood on the porch.
The search for Andrea Lloyd was now fully underway.
But the clock had already been running for hours. And somewhere out in the darkness of that December night, a family was about to make a discovery that would change everything. Miami-Dade police launched a full-scale search operation. Aviation units, all-terrain vehicles, canine teams, every resource available was deployed. The white Honda Civic and its Florida tag, Y650DL, were pushed out through public alerts. The community was asked to come forward. A reward was placed on the table for anyone with information that could lead investigators closer to Andrea. But while law enforcement was working their grid, Andrea's family was already moving.
We are continuing to use all of our resources to be able to find Andrea.
Into the evening, 7 Skyforce above as daylight turns to night, and the dire search for 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd continues.
Her uncle, her nephew, family members covering ground on their own, moving through neighborhoods, watching for anything that did not feel right. They found something. In a heavily wooded area near the Homestead Speedway, near 130th Avenue and Southwest 328th Street, family members spotted Xavier Johnson. Her nephew moved toward him. According to accounts from the family, when Xavier realized he had been seen, he reached for his phone. Her nephew stopped him. "Where are you going?" Xavier had no answer that made sense. The family called police immediately.
Miami-Dade PD saying they detained her boyfriend after a family member saw him in a heavily wooded area near 130th Avenue and Southwest 328th Street.
Seem nervous and a whole lot of things because you got a young man that's out in the bushes and not knowing what to expect. But at that moment, he was just walking around. My nephew done called him and caught him. And when he caught him, he said, "Where are you going?" And he took his phone from him. He said, "Who are you calling?" He said, "That's my phone, give it to me."
We responded immediately. We observed the boyfriend and we have detained him.
Officers responded and Xavier Johnson was detained on the spot. And then the canine unit moved in. The cadaver dog worked methodically through that wooded terrain. Dense brush, low visibility, the kind of area that does not give up what it holds easily. But the dog alerted.
Police say a cadaver dog also alerted them to something not too far from where the boyfriend was seen.
The alert led investigators directly to Xavier's black pickup truck. And next to that truck, a large metal utility box. The kind typically used for storage in the bed of a pickup, ordinary looking. The kind of thing you would drive past 1,000 times without a second thought. What investigators found inside that box confirmed every fear Andrea's family had been carrying since the moment her silence began. Andrea Lloyd was gone. She was reportedly just weeks pregnant with her third child. Her 2 boys, 1-year-old and 5 years old, were now without their mother. She was 5 days away from her 28th birthday.
Overcome with emotion, Andrea's family wait in angst for any word about where she is.
Where's she at?
Families say Andrea is a mother and just a few weeks pregnant with her 3rd baby. They're anxious for answers and holding on to hope that Andrea and her unborn baby are found soon.
I think she's alive. Probably tied up or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. I feel good, but they still won't bring back my daughter. Still won't bring back my daughter. Because she was gonna leave him. She was tired of him messing around on her, and she was like a wife, not a girlfriend. If I knew anything was wrong, she wouldn't have been there. Because I could have put her in the house myself.
Her father had stood before those same cameras just hours earlier, begging for her return. Now he stood there again, and the words were different. That is a man trying to hold himself together in real time, finding a thread of something, relief that there was an answer, that there was accountability, while simultaneously processing the weight of what that answer actually meant. Her uncle, the family member who had been out in those woods looking for her, spoke about what it meant to lose someone this way.
It hurts me for the fact that sometimes you have loved ones that's so close to you. Hate to get you involved in certain things when it comes to them.
Now remember, I told you she posted something on her socials.
This might have been a hint for someone to come to her aid, but no one noticed. She posted about narcissistic manipulators, people who intentionally or unintentionally attack others and hurt them. But if the people they hurt react, they get upset about the reaction. She also stated in that post that they hold zero accountability when they hurt others. Which leads to the question, was she talking about her situation? Was she telling her story?
Monday, Andrea Lloyd posted this on her Facebook. It was a post about narcissistic manipulators, which is actually a red flag one may be in an unhealthy or domestic relationship.
Human remains have just been found in the search for a pregnant mother of two abducted from her home on Tuesday. Those remains were found near an area crews were searching for 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd. The medical examiner has not positively identified them as those of Lloyd, but arrived at the search scene earlier this evening. Authorities have detained an ex-boyfriend, but did not reveal his name. Lloyd is expecting her third child.
Xavier Johnson was taken to Miami-Dade Police Department headquarters for questioning. And according to investigators, he confessed. He admitted to taking Andrea. He admitted to what he had done. Miami-Dade Police Director Alfredo Ramirez confirmed the charges publicly and addressed the community directly. Xavier Johnson was charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and burglary with assault.
Right now at noon, authorities arresting a man who they say confessed to kidnapping and killing his pregnant girlfriend. We were there as 32-year-old Xavier Johnson was walked into jail shortly after midnight. Police say Andrea Lloyd was abducted as she was working at a Southwest Miami-Dade group home.
And human remains were found, sadly, on Wednesday, but they have yet to be identified. Johnson now facing a judge, and Local 10's Annalise Garcia is live in Doral with more on this one for us. Annalise.
Yeah, Janice, Christie, today Johnson did appear in front of a judge, and that judge did find probable cause, and now he's being held no bond.
The question that Andrea's entire family was sitting with was not about evidence. It was not about timelines or surveillance footage or cadaver dogs. It was something far more painful than any of that. Why? Why, after 11 years, after 2 children, after everything they had built together, did it end here? Why in a metal box in the woods 5 days before her birthday? That question deserves an answer, and the people closest to Andrea believed they already knew it.
Mr. Johnson, good morning. 33-year-old Xavier Johnson stood before a judge Thursday morning. The judge addressed the disturbing allegations against him.
Morning. Sir, you were arrested for 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of armed burglary with an assault or battery.
Johnson, arrested in connection to the disappearance of 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd, spoke in court about possibly acquiring a private attorney.
Do you have an attorney?
Yes.
Who's your
I don't have one yet, but I'm gonna get one. Go ahead.
The assets you own, the property owner, what, jet skis, and what else?
The value of my jet skis is $16,000.
Family tells us Johnson was the boyfriend of Lloyd and father of her 2 children.
From all motives gathered, Andrea had been planning to leave Xavier. She was exhausted by his repeated unfaithfulness. She had made her decision that the relationship was over and was moving on. And there was one more piece to it. The child Andrea was reportedly carrying, Arnold Lloyd believed that the baby was not Xavier's. That, combined with her decision to walk away, is what her father believed set off everything. That is not a finding from investigators. No official motive was ever confirmed, but it is the assessment of a man who knew his daughter, knew the relationship, and was left standing in the wreckage, trying to understand the unimaginable. Some days went by after the discovery of the body, and friends and family came together for a memorial to honor her.
How many ever did this to my daughter to suffer, and never see the light.
An emotional night for the loved ones of Andrea Lloyd, the mother who police say was abducted and killed last week. Today would have been Andrea's 28th birthday, and her family wanted to use this opportunity to celebrate her life and honor her memory.
Meanwhile, her boyfriend and the father of her children remains in jail tonight accused of a murder. That's where CBS 4's Joe Waldman joins us from with more details. Joe?
Elliot and Carly, that is correct. The man accused of killing Andrea Lloyd sits in a jail cell here at TGK. He is being held on no bond. This is Andrea's family celebrated her birthday today, 1 week after her murder.
God will allow his blessings to be over us.
Prayers instead of wishes for Andrea Lloyd and her family on her 28th birthday. A sea of pink balloons released into the bright blue sky.
And all y'all know that we are a loving family. And that was my baby. That was my heart.
Andrea's father's heart now forever broken, the youngest of his 12 children found in this swampy area of Homestead. Now, less than 1 week after the gruesome discovery, a celebration of life.
Her first wish would have been bringing our family together like we always do.
Andrea wants us to smile right now.
Hard to do whenever a young person's life is cut so short, but especially difficult knowing the way Andrea died. Police say Xavier Johnson, her boyfriend of 11 years, beat her up and dragged her into his car at the group home where she worked, ultimately murdering her. Johnson is the father of Andrea's 2 children, as well as the one she was pregnant with, leaving family members asking, why?
My thing was, why you have to do this? You could have just walked away.
That fatal decision leading to a barrage of other questions from Andrea's 5-year-old son.
5-year-old is asking, where's mommy? Where's mommy? Where's mommy?
An answer they say they've shared, too difficult for most adults to process, let alone young children. Her uncle just grateful they're all part of such a big, loving family.
We always get together for anything that the family needed. We'll be there. Brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews and all.
And they were, in fact, all there. Now, the attorney for Xavier Johnson, he released a statement to us saying that Mr. Johnson and his family have been recipients of numerous threats since he was identified as a suspect in Miss Lloyd's case. And we ask that before the public makes a rush to judgment against Mr. Johnson and presume him guilty, that it allow all the facts of the case to come to light. Meanwhile, the funeral for Andrea Lloyd will be held this Saturday with details to come. Reporting live from Northwest Miami-Dade, Joel Waldman, CBS 4 News.
2 days before she disappeared, Andrea shared a post describing exactly what she was living through. Nobody caught it in time. 11 years of repeated unfaithfulness, normalized. A partner who controlled and dominated, mistaken for love. A woman planning to leave, and a man who refused to accept that decision. The exit point is statistically the most dangerous moment in any controlling relationship. Andrea knew she was done. He could not let her walk away. If something in this case felt familiar, please reach out.
Let me know in the comment, what is your thought on this case? For me, Andrea Lloyd deserved to walk out of that relationship alive. Like and share this video. If you're new here, like, share, and subscribe to this channel, as every case we cover has a lesson buried inside it. And some lessons are worth your full attention. Thank you for stopping by. This is brought to you by True Crime Verdict.